We have PKD Nambiar, political analyst who supports the BJP, joining us on the broadcast. We also have Rajiv Gowda, Rajya Sabha MP and spokesperson of the Congress party. Thank you both very much for being with us. PKD Nambiar, I want to begin by asking you, is this a self-goal?
How can that be saying something which is a hard truth, or the records of the government, which the government, the junior Union Home Minister during the last session in the Rajya Sabha on a written reply had said that there are 17 cases have been registered primarily pertaining to the IS activities, and about 122 people have been arrested from the south of India. And most of these cases and most of these arrests have some kind of a link towards the Bengaluru. So I don't think that Tejasvi Surya, how he has said that, can be a debate, and somebody can say that I didn't like the way he had said it. He could have said it much more politely. But I think what he said precisely has got a huge value from the point of view of the kind of IS activities and other activities which has been noticed in the recent past. Please
but
note
you don't agree that this in a certain sense exposes a rift in the party, given the fact that it's a BJP government in Karnataka?
No, Rishika, this is not a law and order issue. Terrorism is not nothing to do with only just a local issue. It is not even a national issue. It has even got connections with the international. In fact, the recent for your information, there was a UN report in the month of July which clearly says that there is a huge amount of IS activities which is taking place in the state of Karnataka and Kerala, primarily moving towards to Tamil Nadu and as well as Telangana.
Okay.
So in fact,
so you're saying this is a stock-taking exercise?
Yes, absolutely.
Let me bring in Rajiv Gowda. How do you respond to that? Do you agree that this is a self-goal? Tejasvi Surya has indirectly targeted the Chief Minister, or do you agree with what PKD Nambiar says, that this is just a stock-taking exercise?
I express the anguish and pain of every Bengaluru citizen, of every citizen of Karnataka, that our elected representative chooses to damage the reputation of the city by making such irresponsible and provocative statements. The basic point is that this is a city that is a home to people from everywhere, and it is an inspiration to the rest of the country, to the rest of the world. And at a time when we need more investments, when we want to revive the economy, we have our own BJP MP speaking so negatively, calling the city a terrorist hub, when absolutely that is not anywhere close to the truth. This state, this city, and this country are run by the BJP. And if there is such a mega outburst of terrorism activity in Bengaluru and South India, what is this government doing? What you are saying is absolutely right. This seems to be part of the internal politics of the BJP as well, where one faction is trying to oust Mr. Yediyurappa. It was pathetic to see our Chief Minister speak so weakly in response to Tejasvi Surya's point and try to justify it, when he should have said this young boy is busy making irresponsible statements and he needs to learn to shut his mouth. That's exactly what the Chief Minister should have said.
Okay,
instead he's saying, no, I'm trying to interpret what he said. This is part of a track record. Tejasvi Surya has a long track record of very divisive, provocative statements. Add one more to that list. But this is damaging our city, our state, our country as well.
Respond to that, PKD Nambiar. The internal politics of the BJP at this moment could potentially hurt the investment climate as far as Bengaluru is concerned, as far as Karnataka is concerned, at a time perhaps when the state or the IT capital needs it the most?
I would rather say the other way around, as Mr. Gowda said, and I believe that I travel to Bangalore quite often. I am a person who lives from south of India, and I love the city as much as Mr. Gowda loves, or in the same way, Bangalore does not belong to one person or one party or one group of people. It belongs to the entire India, and we are all proud of Bengaluru. But in the meantime, if you don't look at the
saying things like Bengaluru has become the epicenter of terror activities doesn't inspire any confidence. It doesn't inspire confidence to even come and work in Bengaluru. Forget invest there.
I would be rather happy with the fact that if it has become a matter of discussion right now with Tejasvi Surya's comment, I will be very happy. The reason being, when the UN has come out with a report in the month of July that Karnataka, specifically Karnataka and Kerala, is becoming a large amount of IS group, and there are 56 odd different groups are operating in this part of the country. And
but they're not talking about Karnataka. They're not talking about the south of India. He's specifically talking about Bengaluru.
So that is precisely, I said, there are 120.
The fact that terrorism persists, the fact that it's a problem, I think is something that people realize all over the world. But branding Bengaluru as a terrorist hub, terrorism hub.
Ishita, if you would really like to know the real fact of it, because since I have been studying it, I even given some kind of a document a few days ago, so I'm very well aware about this topic. Let me tell you that more than this 122 people who have been arrested in the last few months, most of these cases have got something to do with the Bengaluru. I think Mr. Surya must have been mentioning from that particular point why this whole, most of the terror links in the south of India has something to do with it. I would rather say, because as Mr. Gowda said, Bangalore is more of like the capital of the entire south of India. There may be, that could be the reason. There is a lot of terrorism is not anymore to do with only the physical attack. It is also to do with the cyber attack, so many things. Bangalore naturally is the place where many of these activities.
But is this perhaps, PKD Nambiar, the best strategy? And Rajiv Gowda, comment here. I'm sure that there is a threat perception that exists about major cities in the country, about several areas, but coming out and discussing it in the public domain, putting out tweets or speaking to the media about a particular city becoming a terror hub, does this do more damage than good?
Absolutely, Rishika. If you think about what he has done, he has basically said that Bengaluru is a dangerous place, that Karnataka is not a good place to come to. And essentially, whatever everyone else is doing, including his own state government, which is busy announcing policy after policy. Yesterday, some tourism policy, welcoming investment. Who will come? Which tourist will come to a terrorist hub?
Yes.
So Mr. Surya is doing great service to the BJP government, to the state, to the city, to our citizens, to our business people, everyone, by saying to the rest of the world, this is a dangerous place which chose to elect me, and I want you all to stay away. Now, these sorts of issues have to be dealt with in a very sensitive manner. These are issues of national intelligence. If at all the statistics that Mr. Nambiar is offering have anything to do with reality, then there is a job of the government to very quiet there and find out who is doing what.
Okay.
What I about is that these guys are trying to create a situation where now they can go around arresting everyone, saying there's an increased terrorist threat.
Well, I think you raise several important points, and this is a conversation that one must continue to have, because even if this is a stock-taking exercise, should it have been done in this particular manner? Has Tejasvi Surya perhaps done a disservice? Is this about internal politics? I think there are a lot of interesting questions that these comments have brought up. But PKD Nambiar, Rajiv Gowda, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for joining this conversation.